It's weird that it hits people in America more than people in Germany. Is that just because cancer hates Americans?
Maybe. There's many reasons behind that. So several things drive cancer incidence and resistance to therapy. Of course, cancer is a disease, obviously, of genetic changes, but these genetic changes have to come from somewhere. And one of the main drivers behind cancer incidence and therapy resistance is obesity and lack of movement. And just compare that I know, obviously, in some stereotypes way along the way, I guess that is an issue in the United States, and an increasing issue.
So it's because Americans are lazier than Germans. I mean, those are some fighting words, my friend.
No, not necessarily, but there is a change in nutrition and how certain products are manufactured in the Western world, not the US, but also Western Europe. That is different from other countries.
And there's also a massive amount of glyphosate in the US that directly contributes to obesity, even if you exercise. And it also, in studies, reduces mitochondrial function. So if you're spraying something all over the place so you don't have to pull weeds, well, who would ever imagine that cancer rates could go up? Oh, wait, wasn't there a lawsuit about that almost took Monsanto/Bayer down? Yes, there was. And I think RFK had something to do with that, which is even better. So I can just say that there's a lot of environmental things that are contributing, but end of the day, if you want to not get cancer, doesn't it make sense to, before you have cancer and before you get old, to start taking MitoPure?
That could be the idea, indeed. So what we're working on right now is, of course, work on aged adults where it has been shown that there is a decline in immune function. Starting around 45 years of age, I think we've seen other people that there's a decline there. But maybe there is a way to prevent this decline in immune function if you intervene early 100%.
On. There are ways.
Nobody has tried that really in randomized trials, but that is the next frontier of research we should be doing. To obviously, as a doctor, prevention is the best medicine, and we should do something more about that.
Oh man, you European doctors. So in the US, prevention is the worst business model, but it's not the doctor's business model. It's the large pharmaceutical company's business model over here. So the doctors here are trying to heal people, but it turns out prevention is a bad business model. So maybe that's behind the US rise in cancer. I've kind of had enough of that. Like, we got to stop spraying these poisons everywhere and trying to convince other countries to do the same, because it's kind of mean. So my strategy as someone who's in the US a very large amount of the time is to do everything I can to make my mitochondria work better, even if I'm exposed to the inevitable long list of more than 10,000 substances that have never been tested on humans that are floating around, and many of which we know are not good for us. So it's like, there's got to be a way to do it. And I take even more when I'm on airplanes. And if I go to Europe where there's different microbiome, I'm going to take even more, because I like my system to run as well as it can. And my resilience has gone through the roof. I'm 50% less than I used to weigh. My brain works ridiculously well compared to the brain fog I had in my 20s. And I believe it's all from mitochondrial enhancement and a few other things.
You're listening to The Human Upgrade with Dave Asprey.